they do not agree. Recently, Pushpakamal Das or Prachanda instructed his cadres and combatants and won their so-called army camp that all these peace process, all this drafting of new constitution, ये तमाशा सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए है बुलवान के लिए. But we want to capture the power. We are very close, very near to the point of capturing power. Our revolution is going to be completed in the near future. And dear comrades, they make preparation for the final conflict, final battle for the victory of the revolution. Everybody should be clear that we are not going to draft a new constitution. We need not any bourgeois constitution. We need proletarian state. We have sacrificed this much life, not for a book of constitution, but for the state of the proletariat, state of the people, to complete the revolution we want. He was instructed. This is the central idea. And when Pushpakamal Das was leading the government at that time, the question of forging the chief of army staff was not any isolated type of incident. That was very planned, very clearly put and finally put to capture the power. Using the status of the government, the status of the Prime Minister, etc. And my party already withdrawn support. And after withdrawal of the support from my party, they were, another party also, they were in minority. We said that while you are in minority, you cannot take any decision. It will be immoral. Secondly, all these efforts were to capture the power, basically. And that was, in another words, in another form, a coup. That was completely unconstitutional and illegal. In the constitution and in the law, such steps, and particularly to change the commander-in-chief of the army staff, was clearly mentioned in the law, which was amended by the government, participated by the Maoists also. At that time, there was one provision. The President, the Chief of Army Staff, which is present this time when this law is implemented, only the second provision of this second point of this article will be implemented and effective. That was only 3 years term will be valid. No other points can work. Before 3 years, nobody can expel it. That was drafted. And at that time I said that we cannot do like this. Seeing a person, keeping in mind an interest of a person, we cannot mention like this in our law. But Pushpakamal Das at that time said that, why you are trying to disturb this? Now we have to abolish monarchy. We have to win over the army. Why don't you try to understand? Later we will deal on this matter. But we must write this now, so that we can get support from the Chief of Army Staff. I said, oh, Army Staff will support us. There is no alternative, no way. But it is. And later on, he was violating those questions. And always the Maoist attitude is to capture the power. Their aim is to capture the power violently, and they don't want to resolve the problem, and they don't want to draft and promulgate the constitution in time. That is the main problem. And now they are very rapidly making preparations for a new rebellion, and are trying to create a situation of chaos so that they can get benefit. And now they have started to shout this government is not being able to promulgate the constitution. So this government must go. And what is the reason? We have to be clear. In every society, though we committed some mistakes in the past, not only some but very serious mistakes we committed in the past regarding to this question and to deal with the problems. But the politicians, the political parties and the society and intellectuals in Nepal are being clear now, and there is the cloud of confusion is the situation is being more clear. Everybody is understanding the situation in its exact way and in an appropriate way. And in this occasion, I would like to request very esteemed friends present here to be clear on these issues and what the democratic parties, progressive parties of Nepal are trying to do and how they are trying to safeguard the democracy and the rights of people, their lives of the lives of people, etc. And I would like to express our gratitude for your continuous support in our endeavors to achieve democracy, protect it, and advance it. And especially I would like to thank all friends here, particularly who initiated to organize this meeting, very valuable, very important meeting of this evening, on behalf of my party and Nepalese people and on behalf of my own. I would like to express heartfelt gratitude to all friends. I respect and request for your more stronger support in this particular very crucial juncture of our history. Thank you very much.
Now we throw open the floor to questions.
Yeah, one question I have.
Introduce yourself,
Yes,
switch on the mic.
Well, I'm AK Merchant. Of course, I'm just a citizen of India and I have interest because Nepal has such close relations with our country and has always been supported by India in every way. But we also read that from time to time that China may be also playing a big role. Is there any tangible evidence that China is influencing, since you have mentioned about the Maoist group? They must be having some source of funding, support, and many other logistical backing. So is that clearly established? And if the Maoists are getting together and they are quite a united lot, but the common citizens, of course I know Nepal is of course like India, you have large percentage of population who are rural, they are the poorest of the poor, lack of development, no electricity for 14 hours, 16 hours in a day, all kinds of problems and situations you have. But I have some experience having worked in the area of literacy and microcredit to help the development process. But with the political turmoil, as you have mentioned, it's a very crucial and a very dangerous crossroads. But you never mention any reference, you never give any indication that China also may be very heavily involved in trying to steer the country to tow its own policies and not be close to India. Any comments on this, sir?
In fact, any country can get interest. And but I think, and not only I think, but it's reality that China is not supporting financially or materially from any angles to the Maoist or any other side. heard the question of Maoist is, due to the name of Mao, you know, in China, respect of Mao is very. And Mao is in fact a great personality who contributed a lot to liberate China and develop China. Now, the world's second largest economy in China. And in some 60 years period, China developed like this, and that is the greatest contribution of Mao. Sure, the Chinese people respect Maoism, and their party's name is, they are not Maoists, they are extremists, anarchists, but their party's name is Maoist. Sure, sometimes name and reality are completely different. There are so many people named Departed, but they are illiterate. They used to be Pandit,
Yes.
but illiterate. Maoists are like that. They are Maoists, but they have nothing to do with Maoism. But common Chinese people have sympathy towards them, because they are Maoists. I talked with so many Chinese people. At least they are Maoists. I used to say, no, they are no Maoists, their name is Maoist. They have nothing to do with Maoism. They are not followers of Maoism,
Like in India. India also we have Maoists.
and they have nothing to do with Maoism. Nothing. In the name of Mao, that is like history. And another thing, yes, we are a poor country. And there was Rana Ulitalki, there was closed society, no right of education, no freedoms at all. There was not absence of democracy, but more than that, there was nothing except autocratic suppression regime. That is nothing. In 1951, Rana Ulitalki was stopped. But I want to mention here, in 1951, when Rana Ulitalki was stopped, and the movement was successful, at that time, King Tribhuvan had declared that there will be a constituent assembly. Constituent assembly election will take place, and the representative of the people will be there in the constituent assembly, and the constituent assembly will draft a new constitution and will be promulgated, and the country will be ruled according to the constitution drafted or written by the representative of the people or by the people. But the declaration was never maximized, because there was extremism. And at that time there was rightist extremism. And now again, at that time Constituent Assembly could not, election could not take place, and it was not formed. But this time, a step ahead we are. Constituent Assembly election took place, there is Constituent Assembly. But there is again the extremism, which will not allow to draft and, but the color of the extremism is different. At that time, that was right. This time, left. Extremism is extremism, which doesn't follow the correct way, correct practice. Sure, color doesn't make any sense. Right or left? Tiger, if it is a little bit red or a little bit black, it doesn't make any sense. The violent character. Extremism is extremism. Autocratic regime is autocratic regime. Sure, this time, extremism again is the major hurdle to declare a new constitution. But this time, the color of extremism is red. Its nature is left. At that time it was a little bit white, black, and and it was in the side of right. But right and left, it doesn't make any sense. Of course, we are poor. We are, but after that, some 10 years we fought, there was a struggle between the newly established democratic forces and the monarchy which was revived. And from dual rule, which got opportunity to be single ruler. And there was conflict. And in 60 about, again, autocratic or extremist right. And for 30 years, the society was suppressed. And after that, a few years, a very short span of time, we got opportunity. And we were just experiencing some methods, ideas, and we were very new democracy, new politics we were practicing. At that time, two extreme elements appear. Ultra-rightist monarchy, again, under the leadership of Gyanendra, very arrogant, and similarly, ultra-leftist, under the leadership of one side Prachanda Pratapi Bhupati, other side Prachanda Pratapi Jananeta. Okay? And two extremist elements were there. And there was suppressive autocratic regime and arrogant ultra-leftist force. And we didn't get opportunity. But all these one side, ultra-leftists were saying that, oh, there is autocratic monarchy, rightist, force, traditional, feudalistic. In this pretext, they were creating violence. And, oh, there is ultra-leftist, they are this and that, and was establishing ultra-rightist, autocratic regime. So, showing each other, they were, the motive and their goals, their selfish interests were there. What the common thing was, they were against people, against democracy. And they were just pretending that there is poverty, there is illiteracy, people are not being able to get security, service, etc. But why? And they were just using those things. And in fact, that was not the cause of rightist autocratic efforts and regimes of King Anand. Poverty was there, of course, but it was not the reason he imposed autocracy. Of course, there was poverty, but it was not the reason to uphold the policy of violence by the ultra-leftists. Both sides, they were trying to use these things. But they were not anxious, and they were not serious, and they were not trying to solve these problems, but trying to use these problems as opportunities.
I have a question. Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
This morning I spent some time at a seminar on China, and there were 3 speakers from China, and they were speaking about China in the New World, and China as a new power. Mao was not mentioned by any of them even once. I know that Mao is an extremely revered figure in many ways, but it is equally significant that there is not a single institution, political formation in China today which is named after Mao. The word Maoism is absent from the current political lexicon of China. Now, this absence is very important, but I do not wish to dwell on that, because that is something which I think merits a separate discussion, the relationship between China and Mao. What I would like to put for your consideration, and before I do that, I want to say that the courage and the forthrightness and the lucidity with which you spoke, I admired very, very greatly. And it's a very grim picture that you're talking of. Now, my question is somewhat as follows. What are the resources with which you hope to be able to meet the challenge of Maoism in Nepal? Because here you confront a very peculiar situation, in my view. One, the Maoists, from what I have read and what I have listened from friends from Nepal, they are pushing for recognition of all forms of ethnicities as virtually independent entities in Nepal. In fact, this logic is being pushed to a point where the very notion of any kind of a territorial entity, I'm not talking even of United Nepal, but any significant territorial entity becomes somewhat meaningless. And at the same time, there is a party which says no differences. We know exactly what is to be done and no differences. So what, and you do not have the conventional apparatus in place, functioning of the state, whereby the final parameters cannot be challenged by anybody. So it is a situation, sir, which is extremely difficult, which you know better. I shouldn't be saying that. Now, what are the resources? Because if the question is who is more progressive, if the question is who is more honest, I don't know which way the scales would tilt. I don't know. Maybe they would tilt again, but I really don't know. I think there is another question. That question should not be unimportant. And that is the question of this entity called Nepal, which comprises things which are very unacceptable, things which you wish to change. But even that process becomes meaningless unless this framework called Nepal is not accepted. I don't see much signs of that being expressed and articulated in the political discourse. This I think. Because the moment you talk the language of national framework and national unity, you, I suppose, feel that you are being put in a category to the right, so to speak, of the older forms. Even in China, in the worst days of Maoist cultural revolution, and the Maoist cultural revolution was a thing on a scale and on an intensity which we cannot properly comprehend, I think. One thing which all parties agreed on upholding was this thing called the framework of China as a unit. And that, I think, did save them in the end. One very specific question, sir. Supposing you come up with a constitution in the parliament, which is agreed to a little less than 2/3, because a little more than 1/3 is, so 60%, let's say, agreed that this is the document, and 40% say no. What do you think are the democratic, political imperatives in the service of law with a capital A that are available to you?
Sir, if you answer that question, one small clarification. You said that the Chinese authorities are not backing Maoists. But there were reports last year of one senior Maoist leader having gone in a semi-clandestine way. He took the road to China and he came back. And there were reports that there had been some kind of discussion. What discussions took place, we don't know. Can you throw any light on that?
In fact, Shubha, I think, Mr. Rambadu Thakur was the best minister when Khasa in the near city. Even when I was there, in the local authorities. Khasa is They are numerous people from our country. And sometimes when I come India for regular checkup, there is not only rumor but like a huge propaganda in Nepal that KP Oli went South Block. Most of the Nepalese people do not know what is South Block. What is the meaning of South Block? They don't know. But they talk about South Block. Oh, you went to South Block. I go to Upper, but people say I go South Block. This is the rumor. And in Nepal, there are some that sort of tendencies also. China maybe. China has some interest and wants to fulfill. If the Maoists are in power, they want to take benefit from that situation. That is something different. But I am very clear that China is not supporting Maoists. Because Maoists do not support China. They do not accept Chinese Communist Party as a Communist Party. They do not support China as a socialist country. They say that the followers of Deng Xiaoping clique are revisionists, degenerated elements. In the name of socialism, they implement new form of capitalism, that is revisionist state, like this. Whenever they get some Chinese leader, oh, we are friends, they say, but in their document, Chinese are not that much very unknown people who do not study their documents, do not analyze their real policies. That is not the situation. They know. Maoists do not accept Communist Party of Nepal Unified Marxist-Leninist, my party, as a Communist Party. They do not accept. Not as a patriotic party, not as a progressive party, not as a democratic party. No. Similarly, they do not accept Chinese Communist Party. They do not accept Marxist Party of India, Communist Party, CPI of India as a Communist Party. They do not accept. But when they are in trouble,
No, but our communists do accept them as their leaders still.
yeah.
They're very afraid of Hanoi, so that doesn't matter. It could be a one-way romance.
But Maoists do not accept them. Do not accept. Who accepts them or not, that is different, but they do not accept. And we must be very clear. CPM is not a Communist Party in the eyes of Maoist. Either the Maoist of India or the Maoist of Nepal. They are not a Communist Party, they are a revisionist party. CPI, CPM, and my party in Nepal. We were supporting them to form the government, to lead the government. Even at that time, they were telling the revisionist party, not a Communist Party, to my party. We should be clear that Maoists are not that much popular in the masses, in the people. Their strength is weapons and competence, and they are using to threaten and control the people. The young people they are bringing in their competence are not willingly joining them, but they go and pick up and bring and indoctrinate and compel them to work for them. By compulsion they are doing it. So they are not that much popular, and we should not be in confusion that they got about 30% vote in the Constituent Assembly election and about 38% seats in the Constituent Assembly election. But that was not voted by the people. In Kathmandu, in such area where all sorts of facilities are there, here and there, every 5 minutes, 10 minutes distance, there are electoral booths, and only 37, not more than 37, 38, 39,000 people that much people voted. But in Gorkha, where poor areas are next to the mountains, where people, it is not so easy to reach in the bush to fulfill. In such an area, Dr. Baburam Bhattarai got 46,000 votes. Unprecedented. Was it real? And the candidate of my party, his father was expired 2 years before. And the old guy, after 3 years of his death, came and
Came to vote.
stood in queue and voted his beloved son's opposition. For Dr. Baburam Bhattarai, he voted after 2 years of his death in Dr. Baburam Bhattarai's constituency. How much popular Baburam Bhattarai and other Maoists are, you can imagine. One candidate's father, who was expired 2 years before, came and voted. That was yes, please.
आपसे
मैं आपकी बात काफ़ी बहुत सारी जानकारी मिली आपकी बात से। नेपाल के जो घटनाएं हैं उनके बारे में एक अलग दृश्य मिला, क्योंकि हम अभी तक यही जानते थे कि यूएमएल की जो सरकार बनी थी वो बड़ी पॉपुलर सरकार थी और दे हैव लॉस्ट द पॉपुलर सपोर्ट आफ्टर द रनिंग द गवर्नमेंट. दैट्स व्हाई माओइस्ट कैन able to gather the people's support in the नेपाल. और जो यूएमएल के इलाके थे वो सब बदल गए. जो मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन थी माओइस्टों के साथ चले गए और माओइस्टों ने दुनिया में बहुत कम ऐसी आर्म पार्टीज हैं जिन्होंने अपने को डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी में ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दिया और थ्रू द इलेक्शन दे गॉट majority votes of the Nepali people and they successfully started a government. इसके बाद फिर जो घटनाएं हुई उसमें मैं डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाहता और जिस तरह उन्होंने, क्योंकि जनतंत्र का सवाल उन्होंने भी उठा रखा है. सेना की चीफ की बर्खास्तगी के सवाल पर जिस तरह वो कहते हैं कि वो डाउन किया गया और पार्लियामेंट्री रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स की हाउस को या उसकी सरकार को, बनी हुई सरकार को आपने डिफाइन किया, तो वो भी ये सवाल जनतंत्र पर उठा रहे हैं. हमारा सिर्फ इतना निवेदन है कि हम अपने यहाँ की डेमोक्रेसी देख रहे हैं और हम भी देख रहे हैं कि माओइस्टों के नाम पर पूरे पहाड़ और नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज को माइंस कंपनियों के हाथ में बेचने की साजिश है और उस साजिश को पूरा करने के लिए लोगों को मारा जा रहा है. हमारे इलाके में गुजरात के बहुत सारे एरियाज में कोई माओइस्ट नहीं, लेकिन वहाँ कोई भी पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट इस समय नहीं घूम सकता आदिवासी इलाकों और उठा नहीं सकता, आवाज नहीं कर सकता. फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट बना है, उसको लागू करने के लिए आवाज, क्योंकि एवरी एक्टिविस्ट हु आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग द ट्राइबल पीपल फॉर देयर राइट्स, दे आर नाउ नोन एज ए माओइस्ट. दे आर उनको जेल में डाल देंगे या मार देंगे. और मिडिल क्लास इंटेलेक्चुअल का एक बड़ा हिस्सा उनको रेल की पटरी उखड़ती दिखती है, लेकिन आदिवासियों की किलिंग नहीं दिखती और उसके पीछे जो माइंस के लिए बेचना है पहाड़ और जंगल और रिसोर्सेज को, वो नहीं दिखता. दे वांट पीस. और व्हाट टाइप ऑफ पीस आई डोंट नो. मेरा सिर्फ निवेदन इतना है कि माओइस्टों के पास सच्चाई रही है कि बड़ा पॉपुलर सपोर्ट है नेपाल और उनको इस प्रोसेस में शामिल किया जाना चाहिए. आई डोंट वांट संविधान सभा की कार्यवाही या जो डेमोक्रेटिक कार्यवाही चल रही है उसमें अगर ऑब्स्टेकल क्रिएट करते हैं माओइस्ट, इट इज वी डोंट वांट टू परमिट दैट, बट वी हैव टू ब्रिंग देम इनसाइड द प्रोसेस. और कोहली साहब, माओइस्टों को बहुत गाली देने से वो नई प्रोसेस में आए. माफ कीजिएगा, मैं आपकी बात से बहुत सहमत हूँ, क्योंकि यूएमएल ही वहाँ की असली पार्टी थी. नाउ दे, और बंदूक से पॉपुलर सपोर्ट नहीं जुटाया जा सकता, ये भी मेरा कहना है. तो हमारी कोशिश ये होनी चाहिए कि संविधान सभा का जो कार्यवाही है ये नेपाल का भविष्य है। और नेपाल अगर एक आइडियल डेमोक्रेसी देता है तो हम तो एक डेमोक्रेसी ढो ही रहे हैं जिसमें आंकड़ों का मैनिपुलेशन चल रहा है। We are also having a democracy. This is the largest democracy of the world. And हम इसको ढो रहे हैं और इसमें आंकड़ों के मैनिपुलेशन से सब इलेक्शन भी कैसे हो रहा है कि वोट खरीद करके हम रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पहुंच रहे हैं। ये डेमोक्रेसी नेपाल की न हो। हम चाहते हैं कि नेपाल में सुरेंद्र मोहन जी ने कहा कि 3/4 कम्युनिस्ट एंड सोशलिस्ट पीपुल आर देयर इन नेपाल, सो वी कैन प्रेजेंट ए आइडियल डेमोक्रेसी इन आवर नेबर। तो ये मैं चाहता हूँ और हम चाहते हैं कि बिना किसी को डिनाउंस किए कैसे कोई रास्ता ऐसा निकल सके। ये बात सही है कि बंदूक उन्होंने चलाया और बंदूक क्योंकि इस बात को भी नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि दूसरी बार मोनार्की को ध्वस्त करने में माओवादियों का बड़ा रोल है, ये हम जानते हैं। और उन्होंने बड़ी शहादतें दी है, सबने मिलकर किया, मैं नहीं कहता कि किसी एक ने, लेकिन दूसरी बार उन्होंने एक बड़ा रोल प्ले किया है। इसलिए कोशिश हमारी ये होनी चाहिए कि उनको कैसे इस संविधान सभा के प्रोसेस में लाया जाए। और हम सब जो भी जैसे भी हमारे जो दोस्त हैं नेपाल में सब में, हम यही कोशिश करेंगे कि वो हो।
अच्छा, कुछ और थोड़ी नई बातें मुझे करना पड़ा। एक, जब माओइस्ट started violence in 1996, after that, perhaps in every politics, all people were trying to crush them, suppress them, and I was perhaps even the first person. And I cannot say like that, but I raised question that we shouldn't deal like that. And we should try our best to transform them from extreme to a genuine democratic. I proposed some points, some ideas. At that time, even my party criticized me. I was a standing committee member even at that time, and my party criticized me. The KP Oli, the standing committee of our party, is expressing his own views, that is, he is not representing the party. Right? But there was debate. And I followed them in different places and try to meet them, try to convince them, and since some 10 years or more than before, I met them in different places of India and tried to convince them. They were not even ready to sit together. They were not even ready to hold talks. But I insisted and convinced them. Look, Gonzalo affair, how Gonzalo was being invited for talks, he denied. But when he was captured, arrested and imprisoned, after some time his force was declined, and then he started to shout that, okay, you were talking about talks, dialogues, let us start. But nobody was ready to start talks with him. Because संस्कृत में एक कहता है कि आदेयस्य प्रदेयस्य कर्तव्यस्य च कर्मणा क्षिप्रभा क्रियमाण से काल विगत। If you don't, अगर आप समय पर लेने का, देने का, काम करने का वक्त होता है, अगर वो वक्त गुजर गया तो टाइम ही उसको खा जाएगा, वक्त ही उसको खा जाएगा। आप अगर पका हुआ हो, आप नहीं तोड़ेंगे, गिर जाएगा। परसों फिर आप तोड़ने का बात करेंगे, नहीं। तो मैंने इनसे बोला कि अगर वक्त पर आप सही कदम नहीं लेंगे तो आपका सामने में जो अपॉर्चुनिटी है वो खत्म हो जाएगा। इसलिए आपको वार्ता पर आना चाहिए। और यहाँ तक जो लाए, मैं एक बात और ये भी कहना चाहूँगा कि माओइस्ट को मेन स्ट्रीम में लाने के लिए 12 पॉइंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग का ड्राफ्ट करता पर्सनली भी मैं था। इसीलिए मेरे डीएन होटल में, जहाँ आज भी मैं ठहर रहा हूँ, वहीं पर in October of 2005, the 12-point understanding was drafted on the 19th floor of this hotel. That is one room. But this hotel. And I want to request not to be in confusion that I am opposing Maoist, but I want to transform them from larva stage to and make them a butterfly. Larva is something different and butterfly is something different. And if we do not criticize them, if one child is a little bit nutty, then if you said that, oh, this is very strong, this very boy can jump like from here. He doesn't afraid of jumping from this height. Then he thinks, oh, I can, and jumps. Or maybe he will break his legs. But if you say that, okay, you shouldn't do like this, you shouldn't be foolish, you cannot, it is unnecessarily height, you shouldn't jump from here, then he will control it. So I just want to say that when there was monarchy, I talked to King Janendra. He was furious. He was unhappy with me. I said, it is my duty. Whenever and whomever, I just advise properly. I have nothing to do with. And if we are able to transform them, even now we are not talking to suppress them and crush them and abolish them or finish them, kill them. No. But they must be transformed themselves. That is the question. And sometimes we are in confusion. If you put some milk, some 2 liters, and the pot is about 8 liters, and if you burn fire from below, it goes up. You cannot say that it is not increased. Not only it will fill the pot, but go outside also. But it cannot be of 8 liters. That is 2 liters. That is reality. But sometimes vicious hit, weapons hit, combatants hit, guerrillas hit, terror hit, just like the milk goes out of the pot. Similarly, strength appears sometime, and that appearance creates really illusion. That is the situation in Nepal. Their size, not only there, but in different parts. Armed people's influence, we can give it in Haiti. After 2 months, the people drive away the president. But 2 months before, he had obtained 98%.